You're listening to the UAE's #1 talk radio station.
This is The Agenda.
On Dubai Eye 103.8.
It is 11:36. I'm Zina Zalamea on The Agenda, jumping in for Georgia Tolley. Now, since the start of the show, we've been talking about scams and fraud and hacking with the Director General of the UAE Banks Federation, Mr. Jamal Saleh. He told me that only 1 in 3 residents can spot a scam online. Very worrying statistics. And Ravi has been sharing his experience with being scammed or attempted to being scammed. One more scam, Ravi says, if you put in a classifieds website to sell anything online, within a few hours, you will get a response saying, I want to buy, give me your bank details, I'll arrange the payment through the courier and arrange for them to pick them up. No bargaining. Thank you for that, Ravi. Lots of websites where you can sell stuff, so please be very careful. Now, I'm wondering why the stats are so worrying. 1 out of 3 residents. Is that because there are many hackers out there and not enough people to stop them? Well, to shed a bit more light on that, we invited, of course, the Group Vice President of Business Development at Help AG. It is an E-End enterprise company, Dr. Aleksandar Valjarevic. How are you, Dr. Valjarevic?
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us in studio about this very important topic. First of all, I just need you to answer that question. Do you think there are so many hackers out there? They're getting more sophisticated every day, and they can, hack tons of people, thousands of people every day, but there's just not enough people to stop them or to spot these vulnerabilities.
Yeah, cybercrime is growing by the day, and cybercrime has become big business on its own. And cyber criminals, the hackers, as you say, are professionals today. On the other side, we have a big skills gap, especially in enterprises, in both companies who sell stuff, who provide you services, and the cybersecurity providers themselves. So this skills gap is making it more difficult for all of us to be protected from the cybercrime.
So you're saying that these big companies don't have enough people or talent to spot those vulnerabilities?
Absolutely, you're correct. There is a gap of several million cybersecurity professionals worldwide, and this gap is only becoming bigger. On the other side, average breach cost specifically for the Middle East and UAE is around $6 million. So that's almost 20 million dirhams. So the dangers are real, and our recommendation to everyone is start using cybersecurity as a service. The same way the companies do not operate their own courier service, they don't operate their own restaurant services, same must happen for cybersecurity services. And we predict, as Help AG, as the largest cybersecurity provider in UAE and the Middle East, that in 3 years from now, 90% of organizations will have to consume cybersecurity as a service and not run their own cybersecurity teams.
Because if you're part of the company, you think everything's okay until an outsider steps in, and actually there are so many things wrong with this. Your system is so vulnerable. Does that usually happen?
Correct. You're absolutely right. Technology is catching up. We are chasing the hackers. Investment in the right technology is very important, but without the people aspect, technology is no worth. You don't get the return on investment.
So you said that there are several millions. That's how big the gap is in terms of the need for cybersecurity talent. Why do you think not a lot of people are taking this up? There are so many opportunities.
Yes, so we call it a skills gap, and I would emphasize on that. It's not a resource gap. There is a lot of people who would like to work in cybersecurity because it is a lucrative field, but there is a skills gap. So we as cybersecurity society and UAE society in general will have to find better ways to get young people into cybersecurity and also help some of the people in other industries transition into cybersecurity.
Let's talk about that. I'm a student. I want to study cybersecurity. Is that a course in itself, or what things can you study? What other types of courses can you take up to become a cybersecurity expert?
I would say that only around 10% of universities globally would offer a course on cybersecurity specifically, like a major or minor in cybersecurity. Usually students would go for something like computer science or software development or networking, and from there they can then later specialize in cybersecurity. But my advice to all the young people is do not only focus on structured academic studies. Make sure you explore, you learn which companies and which vendors provide these solutions, and try to learn from those resources as well so that you understand how this applies in reality.
Okay, so I want to become a cybersecurity professional, but I'm already a broadcast journalist. Is there a way to transition? I mean, those are two different fields.
I must be honest and say it would be very difficult to transition into a technical specialist. However, cybersecurity field requires also marketing and communication specialists, project management specialists, human resource specialists. And I would say that those areas are the ones where someone can get an entry into the cybersecurity and grow from there. Another area is definitely sales functions within cybersecurity organizations.
That's a really good tip for those looking for jobs, especially in this field. Now, a lot of people asking, what's the pay like if you're in the cybersecurity field? It's an in-demand job.
Yes, I wouldn't discuss actual numbers because it would vary greatly between the companies in the market. I would say if we make a comparison, that's a good way to view it. If you compare it to something like general IT or computer science, pay would be 10 to 20% more in cybersecurity. If you compare it to more traditional fields like civil engineering or logistics, pay might be 30% more. So I would say it is a lucrative field, but it's a demanding field, and one needs to be ready to invest in oneself.
And finally, you mentioned the skills gap. I mean, that is the current situation, but do you think it'll be resolved soon? How long will it be bridged, this gap? And what steps do we need to take in order to do this?
Great question. Skills gap will not be bridged. It will only become wider, and the only solution is reach out to reputable service providers such as Help AG, who can help you to detect and prevent incidents in a best manner. That's the reality. This is where the market and the industry is going.
Very worrying indeed. So this is a conversation that started at 10 o'clock this morning with Mr. Jamal Saleh, the Director General of the UAE Banks Federation. We've been talking about the fact that only one in three residents can spot a scam. And now we've been talking to Dr. Aleksandar Valjarevic. He is the Group Vice President of Business Development at Help AG. It's an e-end enterprise company, about how we can solve this problem of not having enough cybersecurity experts to spot these vulnerabilities. Well, thank you so much for your time, Dr. Valjarevic, and I hope you can join us again in studio for more updates.
Thank you so much. I would be very happy.
And hopefully next time you've got good news for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.